least what we have here today, our portfolio of fully electric equipment. We have a significantly broader portfolio and a pipeline of product that's coming, but I want to take you through kind of who Toro is, what our product lineup represents, and some of the specifics of what it is that we have here today. So the first thing I want to start out with is really talking about why Toro. First and foremost, we've been making lawnmowers for over 108 years. We know what you guys put this equipment through. We know it's tough. We know it gets abused. We know that not every one of your employees or contractors use this equipment in the nicest way. And so everything you see here is the exact same machine, the quality you would expect, backed up by the dealer support and distribution support that you would expect, but it's fully electric. So that's first and foremost. So just to give you a little bit of example as to what I mean by that. So when we talk about pro performance, as we go electric, you're gonna see a lot of battery manufacturers trying to make lawnmowers. It looks good on the surface, but when it really comes down to the true quality test, it just simply doesn't hold up. The other piece is performance. So one of the things that you'll notice if you've demoed any other competitors' battery equipment is it's really jerky at slow speeds. So one of the things, if just pretend that there was a light post here and I was going around it, I want you to see how smooth this is at nearly no speed. You can see it's just as smooth as butter. And what you'll find on a lot of competitive product is that when you get into that real, they're fine in the fast range, but when you get slow and you get up close to something, quite frankly, where all the property damage risk is, the machines start to jerk. So those are just the little things that you get with a Toro that mean a lot in application. The second thing I want to talk about is the way that we've approached the battery technology. We're not first, and we're okay with that, because one of the things that we really made sure is we want to make sure that when we come to market, like we are today, we've got solutions that actually work for what it is that you're, and how it is that you're using this equipment. So what do I mean by, or what does that mean? So first and foremost, we'll start out by saying that we own our own battery technology. This is our own battery design. It's not made by somebody else. It's all of our own software. So we control how these machines operate, both in performance, quality, and safety. On that note with safety, all of our equipment, absolutely everything you see here today and everything you'll see here in the future is third-party certified by a nationally recognized test laboratory. Why does that matter? OSHA. OSHA only recognizes certain NRTLs. Who certifies our equipment are NRTLs that are certified and viewed as acceptable by OSHA. So if you're going to start to put employees on these, you're going to start to put these in your buildings, it's really important to consider what is it that I'm putting in there. You've heard a lot about lithium fires on the news. We want to make sure that we're not one of them and we've got safe equipment. Now, it's not always about fire. We're now dealing with high power, high electric solutions. So what does that mean from a consumer perspective or from your side? This is just a small example about the way Toro's approached it. Oh, I went the wrong way. Apologies. If you look right here, this is a kill switch. When you turn this machine is completely de-energized. So if you were to open up the hood here and start to work on this machine, you now know that your service techs are going to be completely protected because this machine is completely de-energized. And I should also note that this machine here is lockout tagout, so you can actually lock that so someone doesn't accidentally flip the machine back on. Okay, so there's safety in here, both in the way it's built to perform and both the way it is to be serviced. Okay, let's turn this machine around.
While Tom's moving that, the other thing to really talk about too is when we get our product certified, we're not just certifying the battery, we're certifying the manufacturing of it, the assembly of it. The entire machine is certified. There's other manufacturers that have battery certifications. Is their charger certified? I don't know, probably not. Is their machine certified? Probably not. Our entire solution is certified as safe, and it performs as we say.
Excellent, thank you. Now I want to talk about, we'll start to get into a little bit of the specifics of how these machines operate, what their performance characteristics are. Our grandstand solutions, our Z Masters come in 48, 52, and 60-inch decks. Both of these machines have run times from 7 to 10 hours range. These two machines right here have nearly 19 kilowatts of power on board. This machine here has nearly 23 and a half kilowatts of power on board. This machine's a little heavier, requires a little bit more power to operate. Still in that, both of them, all of our machines are in that 7 to 10 hour range. So what does 7 to 10 hours mean, and why am I giving you a range? It depends on cutting conditions. What we get feedback from our customers is that, and it's not only feedback, but I'll get to this in a second, we have it because the information is transmitted to the cloud. Most contractors are ending the day with about 30% charge left in the battery. So 7 hours is really what we're seeing. It's not an engineering specification, it's a contractor provided specification based on actual usage. 7 hours of runtime, mowing time is what we're getting on these machines in that heavy, wet spring condition. This time of year, later in the summer, we're much closer to 10 hours, if not exceeding that, in all of our machines here. They charge overnight. All of our charging solutions will work across our portfolio. So as you think about your charging solutions, you'll be able to plug in a 1.2 kilowatt. Later this summer, we'll launch a 3.3 kilowatt. Standard 120 today with our 1.2 kilowatt. In the future, later this summer, when we launch our 3.3 kilowatt, you would need to bring 240 in for that. If I was recommending how you outfit your facility, I would really get serious about thinking about 240, because that is where it's going over the long term, and that's really just how you charge machines in terms of speed. Runtime can be optimized, though, in a number of different ways. On this machine, up here on the control panel, you can control the ground speed, so you can reduce the top end limit, which helps battery life. But if you've got a new operator who's unfamiliar with the equipment, you can also dial that back so they don't have access to the full speed. You can also control your blade tip speed from the control panel. Because it's fully electric, we can control the motor speed. So if you need to get longer runtime, you can dial that runtime or the blade tip speed down, which will also give you longer runtime. Sorry, I keep turning the machine around here. We also have adjustable rake on our decks. So if you look right here, this pin, you can pull this pin and you can adjust the rake so the back of the deck comes up. That allows the clippings to drop out faster and act like a rear discharge deck, and that also improves your runtime. It reduces the quality of cut, so there is a trade-off, but with Toro, you can keep it and get the quality of cut you'd expect, or you can also optimize runtime. We offer two sets of blades, or two different types of blades. Our high sail blade, which is no different than what you'd used to buying today, that reduces power consumption. Or you can use blades that are optimized for battery. They're still heavy, thick steel blades for contractor grade use, but they got a lower sail. Okay, that's a trade-off you can make. So you can see there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of tailor the machine to your application. What did I miss, Chad?
Honestly, as we're talking about all-day runtime as well, so our battery management system has a technology in there. So as you're mowing, you're getting long in the day, your battery gets down, let's just say 10%. This machine has a fail-safe into it. It'll turn off the blades to conserve the power. You have full power then to go where you need to go. You get it down to 2%, and this is where you guys can set it, but you get it down to 2%, you're going to be limited to 2, 3, 4 mile an hour, but you can go for miles to always make sure you get home. So the thought process is, you're mowing 2 miles away from home, machine gets down on battery, you're not going to make it home. It's not the case. You will make it home.
All right, last but not least, on our stand down and grandstand Revolution products, I almost forgot to mention, they are connected to what we call Horizon 360 Connect, which is a fleet management software that you can have on your phone or on a web-based application. Inside of here, there is GPS and telematics communication that will tell you where your machines are located. So if you're concerned about theft, you can now look in your phone and you can see where that machine is located. If you're concerned that perhaps you've got some employees that maybe have been parked underneath a park bench for too long, and why were they at a field that should take an hour long to cut, but they were there for 4 hours, you can see that, and you can see, was the machine driving, was it mowing, or was it just simply parked there for a duration of time? So it's a great way for you to see that. The other thing it will tell you is how much battery life is left on the machine, and then a very important characteristic is my machine charging? So unlike gas-powered machines or diesel-powered machines in the morning, if you forget to fuel up with gas, you just put more gas in it. With battery-powered machines, they need to be charging overnight. So when you're sitting on your couch at night, you look at your phone and you say, did my crew plug in all of their machines last night? You can see that right from your phone. You can make sure that that gets taken care of so you don't got a dead machine in the morning. Okay, that comes free of charge with every one of these purchases. Okay. All right.